So do you know most companies that invest in procurement systems only utilize 30% of its capabilities? In this video, I'm going to cover 5 strategies that you can use to improve the ROI that you're getting from your procurement system. Whether you are a CFO, controller, or accounting manager of a growing company, you can use these strategies to convert your existing procurement investment from a costly necessity into a strategic advantage. And stick around the end where I will reveal one simple strategy that you can implement to reduce the time on invoice approvals and close books faster. Joining me for the first time, welcome. My name is Sachin Sharma. I am the founder and CEO of ProcureDesk, where we help growing companies spending by automating their purchasing and AP processes. So let's jump right in. One is aligning your system with your unique process. So when we implement, or a common mistake we see making while implementing procurement systems is that they take their existing processes and force it on the new system, or they take what they got out of the box and implement it as best practices. And in my experience and opinion, both of these approaches are not right, because sometimes you have your unique processes for a reason, and sometimes you just need to change something. So really the right way or strategy to fix this is to create a cross-functional team to assess your unique process needs. Do you really need an approval workflow that 4 people need to approve something before you make a purchase? Or maybe you want to speed up the process for, let's say, marketing team, because they continuously put in requests for advertising spend, and the time it takes to get approval done is a showstopper for them. So these are your unique needs. So really what you need to do is relook at your approval process from your, what are the needs or what are the objectives we're trying to drive, and then implement that in the procurement system. Number 2 is strategic training, just technical training. What we see is training is more focused on how to click buttons in the system. Here to do this, or click here to do that. And most companies fail to employees on the why behind the system change, right? Why are we implementing it? What are the objectives? What role they play in the system, and so on. So the approach here is to focus more on why, explaining the need for the system, but then making your structure based on the role of the employee. So if your role is to just go in and do approvals, you really don't need to sit through a half-an-hour training to understand how to create a purchase request, as an example. So focus on the different groups that need training. So focus on the why, and then focus on specialized training based on that. Number 3 is what matters, right, with smart KPIs. So one of the challenge with procurement KPIs is once you implement, you don't know how efficiently it is working for you. Whether any room for improvement, or is it working the way you desire it to work. And a simple way to fix that is to understand some of the key KPIs on the process side. So what do I mean by that? So think about how long does it take for an average approval cycle time? Is it happening on 24 hours, or some requisitions are getting stuck for more than that? Maybe there is one person who is always taking more time for approval, or they might need more training, and they are kind of old process, right? So easy way to do this is in your procurement system, create a dashboard that gives you a overall view of these key KPIs, so you can easily review it on a monthly basis and see if the process is working or if anything needs to be tweaked. Number 4 is do a phased rollout strategy. Now, in my experience, we do rollouts of procurement systems. There is always set of people. There is set which is around 60%. Don't care one way or other. They will just go with the flow, use the system. There is 20% who are your champions. They love the system, and they tell everybody about how great the system is. And then the remaining is, let's say, detractors, right? The remaining 20% who are never happy. And that just it is. So the best way to do in any large scale organization, I would say, is break it down into these phases. Like, first of all, you want to focus on your friendlies. That 20% what you think are champions, bring them in, show them the product, get the feedback, and then fix it before you roll it out to the larger organizations. In my view or experience, you get one time to roll out these systems. So taking time to understand what is the unique requirements, and testing it, getting feedback before rolling out serves in a long way. Number 5 is continuous improvement. Companies implement the system, never update their configurations or look at the new features that has been released, never change the processes. We recommend is every 6 months, look at it and say, all right, is our process working? Is anything broken? a vendor released any new feature that we can leverage to make the process better, and so on. So you might want to implement a suggestion box where you are getting feedback from employees to see, what are the areas where they actually need more improvement. The system is working where it's not working, right? So those are the 5 strategies. Now I mentioned a bonus strategy, and let's talk about that. Now you all know about automated 3-way match. If not, there's another video, we'll link to that, which gives you the ability to match the purchase order receipts and invoices. The problem with those is even if there's a small deviation between these 3 documents, the system is going to send it for approval, and that is a lot of approvals, especially your pricing is not fixed and so on, and the pricing is fluctuating. So the way to solve for this is implement what's called tolerance levels within the organization, where you could just say within a tolerance for probably a specific supplier or a specific category, you're okay to approve invoice even if there is a mismatch, and if it goes above that tolerance level, only then you should raise it. So what this does is, it's the minor changes which has minimal impact slows the process, right? It speeds up the process and you can close books faster. So here's a quick recap of what we discussed today. Tool to your process, that's strategy number 1. Tease them the what. Number 3 is measure what matters. Number 4, roll it out in phases. And number 5, keep improving. If you like this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button so you are automatically notified when we release new videos. And till the next time, see ya.